Bye.
Bye-bye. It was wonderful to have you.
After a pleasant trip across California, climb up the western slope of the Sierra Nevada, here we are at Donner Lake. Here where water skiers and jet boats play today, it's the same site where the Donner Party got stranded in the middle of a cold winter on the way to California, just below the famous pass that bears their name, where trains today cruise with ease along slopes and tracks covered up with sheds to keep them running in times of heavy snow. We'll press on a little further today, probably stopping for dinner and maybe a night's rest at Truckee. Who would have believed you could find a pelican up here at 5,000 feet in Prosser Lake? The Canadian geese that we saw a little while ago we expected, but certainly not a pelican. Here is our very first dinner in the Chinook at Prosser Lake. A little clam chowder, some fine Merlot wine, and incredible surroundings. And this is the view out our window. Just east of the Sierra Nevada, you drop down very quickly into the dry part, quickly leave Reno and Sparks behind, and all of a sudden you're out in the real desert. The salt flats here are the lower part of Pyramid Lake, the remains of a once huge inland sea that slowly dried up like the Great Salt Lake has. Well, here we are, our second night out on the road, all lit up and plugged in downtown Elko, Nevada. The shades are down for the night, and we don't have to look at our surroundings, which do not quite match our surroundings of yesterday evening. We're sitting here waiting for Speeds to open in the morning so that he can install a new fuel filter. We stalled out on the road and couldn't get it started, and the fuel filter was clogged. We'll need to get one tomorrow morning just over there at the auto parts place. But here inside, all buttoned up and the air conditioner going, we don't mind a bit, and we'll be on our way again tomorrow morning. Day 3, off into the vast open expanses of Nevada, headed on for Salt Lake City, 3 or 4 hours from here. Monday afternoon, and we've left the salt flats and the Great Salt Lake behind, and we're climbing up the hills west of Salt Lake City, headed for the Wyoming border.
Killer scenery in Utah, east of Salt Lake City. Beautiful red rocked canyon. More pretty mountains, only this time we're in Wyoming.
Day 4 in Wyoming at Little America, a truck stop on I-80, about 100 miles or so into Wyoming. We drove until it got dark last night and just pulled off here for the evening. And we're on our way again fairly early in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock. As we reach Green River, we begin to see more and more eroded rocks and kinds of things you'd see in Western movies. Just west of Laramie, the terrain changes again. And huge snow fences line the highways. Every few miles there are gates that can be closed across the highway to block the road. Evidently the winters here are pretty severe. East of Cheyenne, the nature of the land changes again, giving away from grazing land to farmland. As we approach the border to Nebraska, we come from the flat and gently rolling farmland to these pine bluffs. The town here, Pine Bluffs, marks the edge of Wyoming. We'll soon cross over into Nebraska. We're now just east of North Platte.
Is that big?
Wow. These sod walls are about 4 feet thick. Muslin on the ceiling to keep the dirt from dripping through. Dirt floor and a rope bed. And a stove fired with corn cobs and buffalo chips. And now for the really weird, an Indian on horseback made of probably miles of barbed wire. And when the artist was finished, he still didn't have enough to do, so he made another one into a buffalo. Beginning of day 5, Wednesday, July 10th. Spent the night here, a few miles off of I-80, in the middle of Nebraska. Headed for Two Rivers, Wisconsin today. Leaving Omaha, Nevada, and Nebraska behind. Going across the Missouri River and on toward Des Moines. It's 5 o'clock Wednesday evening, and we're still headed east on Highway 80, now in Iowa through corn country. In a few miles we'll be turning north to head up 151 toward Wisconsin. Well, this evening we've stopped a little bit early. It's just a little after 6 o'clock at the Swiss Valley County Campground just outside Dubuque. Not more than about 2 or 3 miles from the Mississippi River. Tomorrow morning we'll get an early start and drive the remaining couple of 100 miles on to Two Rivers, Wisconsin. And just like magic, we're in Two Rivers. We had a nice pleasant trip and arrived at Lynn and Blake's house about noon yesterday.
You're watching him. Well, that feels good.
The animals here live very exciting lives.
This is the only animal that Lynn is rehabilitating right now, and he may not be able to be released. We're getting ready to leave Two Rivers and continue our journey on east to Virginia. We've had 3 days here with Lynn and Blake, and they've made us feel very welcome. And we've been very, very busy. After a day of driving through rain, we found a wonderful place to camp last night by the shore of Grand Lake, about an hour east of Fort Wayne, Indiana, into Ohio. This is probably the second prettiest place we've camped on the trip so far, and we listened to the rain on the roof all night last night. This morning it's clear, and we're headed for Pennsylvania. Of course, we had to stop off at the Neil Armstrong Museum on the way. This is the only F-5D aircraft left in existence. Neil Armstrong flew it to help characterize the flight characteristics of early proposed space shuttle called the Dinosaur. The museum itself is pretty interesting, built into the side of a little hill. The flight suit he wore on his Gemini flight. Gemini spacecraft. Lots more amber waves of grain. We finally stopped for the evening at Pinch Pond Campground near Harrisburg. It's way too dark to see anything in the videotape, but you can probably see the fireflies sparkling across the grass. We've circled the light wagons with our friends the Livermans. Their little white house and our Chinook are parked right next to each other. We're getting ready to go off and tour the Pennsylvania Dutch country.
People would bring their roast corn in.
All right.
Corn like this. Corn like this. 12 to 14 or 15 foot of water. 30 seconds at 35 horsepower. Strictly water.
There she goes.
My.
Fool me, that little cup doesn't like that.
No, I've been grinding all morning, sir.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's like white flour now. It still works. See the plot.
Now we're waiting to take a ride on the railroad.
Send some more.
The strange thing looks like a school bus on a railroad track. Here comes the train. Here's our private car.
All pistols must be checked with the conductor. Positively no shooting of pheasants or cattle from train. Games of chance permitted only in baggage car. All male passengers must assist crew in shoveling snow or pushing if necessary. Hear that mournful sound. Hey y'all, we're picturesque.
Dollars to restore to their present condition dollar subsidies. Our primary source of funding is from ticket sales.
He's been playing Pygmalion, hasn't he?
hardly marked at all, just off in a corner behind some city park. And here we are, home again at last.